started, He will do it. God is faithful to keep His word. I know the plans I have for you is the plan for good, not evil. To give you as He spoken, He will do it. God is faithful to keep His word. Faithful, so faithful. Faithful is the Lord. Faithful, so faithful. Faithful is the Lord. He has promised He will never lie. Has He said it, it will come to pass. Mighty, so mighty. Mighty is the Lord. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. Enter with gate with thanksgiving. Enter with
Hi. Hi, I'm Benedict Tabu. We're live at Noble Television. So today our topic on business surgery is going to be about business system, business model. What model do you use? What system do you use? Because when you're doing business, you actually have to have a system in order for you to function well, in order for you to operate well, or to do business well. When you're doing business, there are things you look at like operational excellence. For you to produce operational excellence, you have to have a system. You have to have a business model which you use because you're actually doing business. So you have to have a business model. What business model do you use? How do you operate? How do you function? For you to operate well, for you to work in the right way, you have to have a channel, like when they say a habit. What do you do all the time? How do you do it? You have to do it in a systematical way, because when you do it in a different way, if today you do it this way, tomorrow you do it that way, it will not actually work, because you don't know what is going right or what is going wrong. So for you to get it right, you need to do it the same way, and it becomes an habit. If you keep doing it the same way, you get it done right, and it will be easy for you and simple for you to do. Because one reason why I would tell you it will be simple for you to do, because if you keep doing it, let's say you keep going to the same shop every day, you keep going the same way every day, it's actually going to be easy because you know where everything is. So that's the same thing with business. When you're operating in business, for you to operate in an effective way, when you talk about business, there are languages they use to talk about efficiency and effectiveness. For you to work in an effective way, you have to have a system. You produce a system, you design a system, organize a system. You have to define the system, assess the system. The other day I was talking about assessing your business idea. You have to assess the system. Is my business working well? What system am I using? Do you have a system? If you don't have a system, your business will fail because you're not working towards something. There's nothing like a benchmark. Nothing like what do I do, which way do I do it. The pattern, basically. A business system is actually a pattern. What pattern do I use? What pattern do I use? What system do I use?
9. I'm 9. When I go to 3, I do a mess.
What pattern do I use? What system do I use? The value proposition. Which way do I do it? In a business canvas, there's 9 ways in business canvas. There is 9 ways in the business canvas. it's actually divided into 9 sections. It's actually divided into 9 sections. Business model canvas. Which way does it work? You have to put it into different sections, into different way. Value proposition. The key, what are your key partners? It's divided into 9 sections. You have to put it together for it to work in the system. You have to put it together in the 9 sections in a building. Let's call it a building block. This actually is called business model canvas, and it actually was designed by a man called Alexandra. So he created this pattern. He created it in a way that it should work well and you should use it. It's been a system which they've tested before. I know there are like 3 different business models which people use or more, but most of it you've got the lean effect. Well, this one is more reasonable and more practical when it comes to business, because you can put it together and it will work. It's actually something that is accessible. One, you need to find out who are your key partners. Who are your key partners? Who are your main partners? Who are your suppliers? Who do you work with in business? Who are your suppliers? Who supply you your goods or your services? Because before you can do anything, you have to have a supplier. Who are your suppliers? Do you just go and buy the things, or do you just get the things around? Who are your suppliers? So you need to find out who are your suppliers. Who are my partners in the business? Do I have a business partner? Do I have people that supply me? Do I subcontract? Is the work being subcontracted to me? How is it done? How do I get the things done? How do I get the business process done? So you need to organize it. Who are your suppliers? And the other way you need to do, what activities do you do to bring value to your customers? What are your main activities that bring value proposition? How do you bring value to your customers? How effective does it work? Does my business customer, my customers, how do I serve them? You have to have your resources. Which resources do I need? Which kind of resources do I need? A motor vehicle? Do I need a computer? What resources am I using to provide my customers the best services that they need? What are the resources that they need? Do I need a car? What do I need? Do I need a car to travel with to do my business? Do I need a computer? Do I need a table or a shop? What are the resources that you need? Do I need ink, printers? What are your resources that you need? People are part of resources. It's called human resource. Financial resources. What are the resources that you need for the business to carry on, or for you to provide the right services to the business people? What are the resources that you need? The other thing we talk about when you're doing this is the key activities. What activity do you use that will bring value to the customer? Which chain of distribution? How do you distribute it? How do you take it to the customer? Is it by email? Is it by sending them letters, by postcard? Because you know businesses these days, even though we operate by email, or it's basically digital, but at the same time we do business in a way which we use paper. You can still send letters to people out there. You can still send postcard and other things for them to know how you do your service. You can send sample out to people as well. So which way do you do it? How do you do it? Which method do you use? Basically, that's the distribution channel. Which method do you use for them to reach your customer? The customer relationship. Customer relationship. Basically, how do you make the money? How do you gather revenue? Which stream of income do you use? When you talk about the customer relationship as well, you talk on the value proposition. How a value proposition is what makes your company attractable to your customers. The features and services that you provide, and how can you provide it? How is it that are you the best person to provide those services? How do you provide the services? Do you get the right features? Do you get the right services for them? How do you do it? That value proposition. How do you propose it? How do you put your services? Which way do you bring it out to your customer that they'll be able to like it? Is it by email? Is it by webinar? Is it by webcast? Is it online? Which way do you provide the services to your customers? That's value proposition. How attractive do you make it? Which way do you provide the services? What are the features and the services that you provide for them that will make them come to you? When you work with, you need to think about your customer relationship. How do you, what's the customer relationship between you and your customer? What's the relationship between you and your customer? Do you have a good relationship between you and your customer? Because for you to do business with someone, you have to build up a very good relationship between you and the customer. Your target customer, what are they expecting from you? Who are your target customer? How do you get them? Because I was doing an interview about customer service with someone, and the person actually told me customer relationship is in 3 ways. The way you get the customer, how you maintain the customer, you retain them, acquisition, retention, and after sales. When you've got the customer, what do you do after the sales? Yeah, so you talk about those things. What do you do after the sales? How can you integrate that into your business? After you've targeted the customer, you've got the customer, how do you integrate that into your business? How do you integrate that into your business? Do you have people who will actually do business with you? I'm just going to share this live video. How do you integrate that into your business? How do you integrate the customer relationship? Because the customer relationship is intertwined with customer segmentation. That's why when you build the building block, it's actually the same line or the same column is they draw a line between the customer relationship and the customer segment, basically. Which channel do you use business? Is it by email? Is it by traveling, by road? How do you reach the customer? How does your goods and services reach your customer? Let's say, let me give you an example, like Noble TV, you will do online, we'll do radio program, we'll do different kind of channel, we use Instagram. Which channel, which way do you reach your customer? How do they get the final services? Whether it's information, whether it's goods, whether it's services, how do they get it? How do they get your goods and services? So those are the things you need to check, but it's actually 9. Then you do customer segmentation. How do you segment? Do you segment your business from, how do you segment your customer? Customer segmentation. With customer segmentation, you have to do you divide them into groups, into demographic. How do you divide the customer? How do you segment them? How do you choose your niche, basically? What type of people you're looking for as a customer? Because sometimes people say, okay, I will look for, maybe my target customer is actually between age 16 to 18, or my target customer is between 18, teenage to adulthood. Or my target, if you're doing a care home, your target customer will definitely be ageable people. Because it's going to be elderly people, because the people that are going in the homes are going to be elderly person. The person that is going to make a decision is going to be an adult. So basically, when if you're looking to open a nursing home, you're not going to target a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old. You're actually going to target something like, let's say, from 30 to 75. If you're doing a life insurance, you're going to target something from 18, even though 18 years, sometimes they don't, depend, unless if they're doing a risky job. But if they're not doing a job which they are at risk, most of the time they're going to actually get, they're not going to get a life insurance at 18. Very few people get life insurance at age 18. So when you look at things like life insurance, you're going to look from the age of something like 25. That's the age group you're going to look at. You need to get the right target, because no need for you to be selling a game and you're targeting someone who is 60 years, they might not like playing games, electronic games, they might not like it because it's not within their age rate. So you need to look for that. Find the right target. Segment your customer properly. Divide them into group. What niche do I need to service? What need do I need to provide goods for? Who are my customer? Make a customer segmentation. Write it down. Then you need to see your cost. How much is it going to cost you? How much is it going to cost you? For your segmentation, you need to find a class, group. What class? Because sometimes if you want to do business and you want to say, okay, it's an high-end good, and you're going to go in a rural provinces with certain type of makeup, you will not get customers there. Because one, they cannot afford it. Two, they might not be the right target customer. They've got different reasons why you will not target that area or that demography. That location, where are you looking at your customer? Do you want to produce music and you going to or offices? Do you want to produce music and you're going to school or
Using computer. So I don't know what is wrong. I need to put this in computer and get this software.
what relationship?
You are instructing me, you are not paying me. This is
What-
I'm caring about.
What relationship are you going to do to integrate this in?